I'm Jen.
I'm Emily.
And this is her gender circle.
My gender circle. Trigger warning. We're going to be talking about gender and possibly body parts, probably body parts. Briefly talking about dysphoria.
A lot of sensitive topics in this video, so if you are
Having issues,
very sensitive, or easily offended, we suggest that you probably don't watch this video.
Yeah.
And to go and look up information to help you with your sensitivity.
Yep.
Because it's a common thing. It's not bad. It's just...
We are trying to help people, and we don't want people to become very offended or upset with our videos, because what we're trying to do is help in the best way that we can. Girls from the LGBT community and who know a lot about it. That's
right.
all. And trying to take this from a standpoint of girlfriend or the boyfriend. This female, and I am dating a trans guy, and this is for people who are like me, in the same position as me, maybe dating a transgendered man or woman. Does not really matter, I don't think. That being said, a lot of my videos with regards to this will be more so geared towards the FTM community, because that's what I know more about. I do know a few male to females, but I don't actually, I haven't dated any of them, so I wouldn't really know that much about like what it's like to date them.
This female, and I am the supportive friend. Today's video is on transgendered partners, sort of. This is the part 1 to our partners coming out to us video. So before we can do the what happens after they come out, we're gonna do the research, the what it is to be transgendered part. Yes. This is more of her specialty.
If you don't have any idea about this, after watching this video, the first thing you should do is you should go to the first place where you know that there is a like LGBT support group, or LGBTIQQ2SAP.
There's a very good chance that you're going to find a support group like this on campus, just as we found one on our campus.
So I went there today to see if I could find any information, but I did. There wasn't a lot, because at the moment they couldn't find any. Some fun stuff like safe sex, and there's a lot of porn in this one actually. It's kind of, there's lots of porn. There's stuff about like friends and family and how they should react and ways for them to support, and other really fun stuff that is always helpful. Pamphlets are really great, especially if you yourself are trying to come out to someone, because a lot of the times when it comes to things like being transgendered and that sort of thing, people just don't understand the concepts behind it. It's not that they don't accept it, but it's that they don't understand it. And once you explain it to them, they will more likely be more open to it. And the best way to do that is through pamphlets and information and science, because science is something that always gets people on board.
But we'll talk more about coming out on Thursday.
The gender circle. This is my gender circle. When you look at the circle, there's a little dot in the middle of it, and that little circle is meant to represent what it is to be biologically male or female, which is a social,
norm?
Yes, it's a social norm. So more or less, when I talk about that, I mean you were born with male or female parts, or ambiguous parts in some cases, but I mean you were definitely born with something.
Basically, you're either born with a penis or a vagina.
Or ambiguous parts, and either way, this is what you have. This is the biological gender, and this is the way it was originally meant to be interpreted, I suppose. This is the social construct of what gender is today, and when we speak about cisgendered people, that means people who are assigned female at birth or assigned male at birth and feel like they're comfortable in that. But this is what society has made into a very simple topic, which is only very tiny. It made it very big and complex. There's tons of things about trans people that are very important. So I'll read it exactly, So there's many different terms that fall underneath what's called the trans umbrella, and that's trans with the asterisk, because that's very important. So basically, there's trans umbrella.
Here we have a gray umbrella, and it is the trans umbrella. And under this trans umbrella, you have transgendered and transsexual and transitioning. Sort of. There's an asterisk for a reason.
Basically, or transgender is the umbrella term for what is a very complex matter of things, and basically we call it the umbrella term because it sort of includes a little bit of everything. It sort of trickles its way down to bigger, more complex issues. Underneath that, you would find something like transsexuals and cross-dressers and drag performers and intersex condition and genderqueer or gender variant, and it's a lot of things.
And not everybody understands all these things.
And I mean, I don't think anyone could ever understand all of these things. I mean, unless you were in that position, every one of these positions, you wouldn't fully understand. And because you are not going to be in every single one of these positions, you probably won't ever understand.
We don't even fully understand.
No, we do not. I think one of the closest ways to becoming understanding of this would be actually being in a relationship with a trans person and having them sort of help you on the way to understanding if you were dating them prior to their transition, because that is you share something special with someone when you're in a relationship, and then when they decide they want to transition, it might be confusing for you at first, but then afterwards, once they explain to you the way that they're feeling, sometimes you can see that mirroring in the relationship that you had prior to the transition. And it kind of all just works out in the end, I think. Just me.
And you would know.
I've dated 2 trans people. So we will talk definitions, because there's many different definitions. So a transgendered person is someone who, well, it's an umbrella term, like I said before, for someone who has self-identification, anatomy, appearance, manner, expression, behavior, and or other perceptions of challenges to the traditional societal roles of gender and stuff. The best way to explain transgendered individuals and transsexual individuals are people who were born in the wrong body and feel like the opposite body, or somewhere in between, is more fitting to how they feel inside. So the actual term on that would be gender identity disorder, and it's very brutal. Psychologists compare it to being trapped inside a burning building, unable to escape, unable to get out. And it's a very, very difficult thing, and I don't think people realize how difficult it can be. And I think it's very important to realize that. Genderqueer and gender variant may not identify with a gender binary. They don't, it depends really on each different person, and honestly, until you meet the person and they talk to you about it, you can't know. And there's so many different people who identify by so many different genders, and some are in between. Some people are right smack dab in the middle. Some are feel more feminine but not female but feminine, and they feel like people who feel masculine but not like a man. It's very, very complex. It's very, very, very complex. I can tell you people get very, very touchy, and I anticipate hate from some of these videos that we get. I anticipate a lot of hate from some of these videos that we get. And I mean, whether you were born female or you're born male or you were born with ambiguous parts, it's all about what you feel inside and how you want to portray and how you want to see yourself. And that's pretty well, I think, the best definition we could give over what it is to be transgendered and what it is to feel like trans with the asterisks. It's a very, very complex thing, and I mean, people don't really give it a lot of there's a lot of negative connotations towards some of this, especially in the media and things like that, which we will cover later, because we have a video coming out about that in the new year. So look forward to that. That's going to be fun. There's so many transgender people in the media. So many.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing is that you just need to like do a lot of research and understand things. I mean, if you were a female designated at birth, you would be getting on testosterone, perhaps. If you were going from one gender to the other, if you were considered an FT, you are a female to male person, then you were going directly from one gender to the other, you would be getting on hormone replacement therapy. So you would be seeing perhaps a therapist and being diagnosed with gender identity disorder, and then you would be getting on hormones, and the hormones is testosterone usually. And then you would, if you want, getting your top surgery and then maybe your bottom surgery to follow. And what I mean by top and bottom surgery is the double mastectomy and then the construction of the genitals of a penis, should you want that. Because some people do not want it and some people do. And then there's a whole process of changing your name and changing your gender on your passports and all that jazz. Like, it's a very complicated, long process, and I'm really happy that it's starting to change. I think you used to have to wait a year living as a male before you could get on hormones, and that's changed, thank goodness, because a lot of people having issues with that. But if you were a male going to the female gender, you would be getting on testosterone blockers and estrogen, and you would be you would start to develop breasts, and you would get more softer, more feminine features, and would start to look and present as female. Some people like to grow their hair out, and that always helps. And then, of course, they don't need to get the top surgery of any sort. I mean, they can get implants, but most just let their breasts grow to size. Then they might get the bottom surgery, and that's usually very successful, and they would have a fully functioning vagina and clitoris. And they, can get surgery on their voice boxes and make their voice go up, or I don't see why they want it to go down, but I mean, different strokes. Different strokes. So, I mean...
Yeah, because when you're on testosterone, your voice naturally deepens.
But on estrogen, not the same thing happens.
Yeah, no.
It's literally going through puberty, but at a different stage in life.
Yeah.
It's everything that would happen to a male going through puberty if you were an FTM, and literally the same thing that a female would be going through puberty as a MTF. And it's actually crazy how how some of these work. I mean, one year, like their start of testosterone date, it could be like totally, they could look like me, and the next minute they could look like you wouldn't even recognize them, and you would not even realize that they were ever female. And it's not that they were ever female, it's they were designated female at birth, and don't confuse that because it can become very offensive.
Just going to the bathroom.
Very difficult. Very difficult.
Because you dress and you feel like a woman, but biologically you are a man. So sometimes females don't want you in their bathroom. Males don't want you in your bathroom. So where do you go?
This is the truth. And remember to go talk to people. I mean,
yeah.
When I went today to talk to someone, I was like shocked by how much better I felt. If you are a trans person who is in a relationship with a trans individual and you feel like you are like overwhelmed and stuff, go talk to someone. I mean, seriously, like I just wasn't talking to anyone, and I just went in there today and I talked to someone for like 10 minutes, and he made me feel like so much better about my life. Okay? Also, perfectly okay to feel overwhelmed. That's what I learned today. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, because you learn something new every day. So, follow us on Twitter, Tumblr.
And Tumblr. Please like and subscribe.
Ask us questions.
On Tumblr and Twitter.
Also, call us out on our bullshit if you think we're bullshitting you.
Yeah.
because we're trying to help people. And
Comment down below if you have a view that is different than ours, then let us know the view.
Bye.